Welcome back to Better Than a Pill. Today I am here with Amanda, our functional medicine practitioner, and Shannon, our registered dietitian, and we are going to be talking about menopause. And I definitely want to thank God for making this podcast available and for my gratitude to him. So we're going to get started and just go into a little bit about what are some of the signs and symptoms of menopause and what we can do to help make menopause a little bit easier.
I will start. Before we get into menopause, let's define what insulin resistance is. Insulin is a hormone that helps your body use the stored glucose from food you eat. When your cells become resistant to insulin signals, your body compensates by producing more insulin. And over time, this leads to weight gain, increased hunger, fatigue, higher risk of chronic conditions like type 2 diabetes, heart disease. Many of us experience these hormonal shifts like hot flashes, insomnia. And menopause brings a huge hormonal shift, right? As estrogens decline, so does insulin sensitivity. So this means the body struggles to process glucose more efficiently, making you more prone to insulin resistance. So is this vicious cycles. So here's what's happening inside your body during menopause. Estrogen drops. Estrogen helps regulate insulin. So lower levels make blood sugar harder to control, right? And also there's another hormones, the stress hormones, cortisol increases. As we go through these hormonal shift, higher stress levels, often due to poor sleeps, hormonal changes, which lead to even more blood sugar spikes and dysregulations. Muscle loss. As we get older, we start to see us getting more flabby and having more weight around the midsections, losing our lean muscle, and we need muscles for uptake in glucose. Muscle is your biggest consumer of glucose. What else? Fat distributions changes. Many women notice that weight shifting from their hips to their midsections, love handles due to increase in more visceral fats, which further worsen insulin resistance. It's not a pretty picture. I've gone through this. I've gone through my shares of hot flashes, insomnia, hair loss, increase in inflammations, and all these sudden changes. As you hit 50 and all of a sudden you see, you experience this, did somebody just turn off the light? I mean, it's like wait, what happened? Why? I'm not doing anything different. I'm not eating differently. I'm exercising the same, but what happened? Why can't I lose the weight? Why am I feeling fatigue all the time and have these symptoms?
Very well said. But I want to reiterate that just because we're going through menopause or we have gone through menopause doesn't mean that we are going to gain weight or that we will become insulin resistant. We have the power to do something about that. And I also want to diminish or get rid of the stigma around hormone replacement therapy. For so long, hormone replacement therapy was thought to be dangerous. Like it can cause cancer, it can increase your risk of breast cancer. And what we now know is those studies were terribly flawed and that hormone replacement therapy is safe and it's very beneficial. Every tissue in your body, your brains, your tendons, your muscles, your hearts needs estrogen. So many people have been taught that it's dangerous to go on hormones after menopause, and that is not the case.
Unless you have histories,
Yeah.
and it's not that we're not talking about like it's for everybody, but
But
don't fear.
Correct. It's all individual, but I don't want the general fear to be there where people don't even open their minds to it. If they're a candidate, it's going to be very beneficial for you. Estrogen, Dr. Ben Bickman calls estrogen our superpower. It makes us it keeps us from being as insulin resistant. It keeps like Amanda said, our fat, we gain fat in our hips and our thighs, which is healthier than gaining it in our midsection. As we lose estrogen, that fat shifts to our midsection, our small fat cells become big. As they become big, they become inflamed and we become insulin resistant. What we can do about it is, number one, if we're candidates, go get checked out for hormone replacement therapy. Number two, we can look at what and how we eat. Eating every 2 to 3 hours is not going to be beneficial for us. We need to spread out our eating window. We don't necessarily have to eat less, just less frequently. So incorporating some intermittent fasting or time restricted eating. Eat dinner and then just stop, and maybe don't eat breakfast the next day. A lot of times we do because we think that we need to, not because we're really hungry. We've just been ingrained, oh, I need to eat breakfast. I need to eat breakfast. That's fine. I'm going to eat my breakfast at 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Look at the foods that we're eating, pulling away from the ultra processed foods, the seed oils. We're learning much more about how inflammatory seed oils are. So focusing more on healthy fats like avocado oil, coconut oil, olive oil, believe it or not, butter, tallow, lard, and ghee. Here's the thing too that I want to bring up. As you go through menopause, your cholesterol may increase just because you're going through menopause. That is not necessarily harmful. It's because cholesterol is the precursor to our sex hormones. So if we're not making hormones, our body's going to churn out to try to make hormones again. We'll see an increase in cholesterol, but that does not mean it's bad. So don't fear eating fat or eating cholesterol because of that. Focusing on more protein. As we age, we lose muscle. Our ability to digest and absorb those amino acids properly is less efficient. So we need more protein, and muscle is our key to longevity. It's our key to insulin sensitivity and metabolic health. 1 gram per pound of our goal weight is what we should aim for, and keeping our fiber intake up, our high fiber vegetables. If you can focus on that, you're going to do yourself put yourself at a big advantage of staying metabolically healthy and really downplaying the symptoms that we just think come along with menopause. No, weight gain does not have to come with it. Hot flashes does not have to come with it. There are things that we can do. Keeping our metabolic health at the forefront and treating ourself with hormones, if we're a candidate, is extremely important, as well as movement. Instead of we've been such a cardio, Carrie, this is your area,
Yeah, it is.
cardio-centric, decades of cardio-centric focus on exercise, moving away from that and focusing more on resistance training to maintain and or even try to put on some muscle mass. That is going to be the best thing that we can do for ourselves.
And I think the combination
Absolutely.
too of calming the nervous system and also getting in doing things like the therapeutic Pilates for people, fast release breathing, breath work, all is really also important for menopause. I've found that. I know a physician that I work with said that's the number one thing that she saw in her practice is that people that were doing Pilates were doing better during menopause.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at not only, and I agree with you 100% on the strength work, right? We need to
Yeah.
keep our muscles strong, and there are many ways to go about that. I like to do resistance bands, and you can stay just as strong, and you can increase your strength, and you can be healthy. You don't have to, and you can progressively overload with resistance bands. Okay, we don't have to. We think that we have to be in a gym deadlifting 50 pounds. Ladies, you don't have to do that. Trust me, you can, but you don't have to. There are ways that we can build muscle. That's my whole point. And that we can make it, there's nothing wrong with doing that. All right. But we can make it towards what we like, what's appealing. I know for me, that's important. Thank you guys. This has been really helpful. I think the bringing in the factor of keeping our metabolic health healthy. If you guys want to learn more about the Feel Great system, you can check out the episode in this description, which includes a link to the product that we recommend. The company does offer a 90 money day back guarantee on all products, and you can also pay for it with HSA and FSA. If you're struggling with your stiffness, with your back pain, you can reach out for optimal movement assessment today at support@movementcraft.com. Thank you so much for listening in today, and we do new episodes every other week on Wednesday, and I look forward to having you join me then.